Modric received an ovation once again. What do you feel when you see Modric on the field? Do you want him to renew for another season?
I've said this before, Modric is a gift, he's a blessing for football. He should keep playing for as long as he wants to. What he does on the pitch, he always does very well. We at Real Madrid and the fans have been lucky to have him with us. He is a legend who has defined an era here. Having him with us is a privilege because of his professionalism, seriousness, and quality.
Don't you think Vinny is missing a spark during the game? Doesn't it seem like he isn't connecting with his teammates as well as last season? Obviously, he scored a goal, but it feels like something is missing.
Personally, I saw Vinicius at his best today. Of course, he could have been more clinical in front of goal. But we saw an unstoppable Vini in the second half every time he took on a defender. He did it well and created scoring opportunities. He played a good game at a high level.
Arda Guler hasn't played since the match against Leganés. Today, he didn't even warm up. What's going on with him? Does he have an injury?
No, he is fine and ready to play.
You celebrated the second goal a lot, almost as if you were releasing stress. Do you think the league competition is causing you stress, and where?
It tends to happen when you have control of the game. Create chances to score more goals and try to finish the match beyond a 1-0 lead. But then the opponent, especially if they have quality, can equalize. Today they had a chance to level the score on a counterattack and another after a corner kick. So obviously our second goal sealed the match. Although we could have scored earlier, the team played well today.
What is the next step in Alaba's reintegration process? Do you think he could play against Atletico in the Champions League?
After a very long injury, I think David Alaba had a good game today during the 60 minutes he was on the field. I saw him comfortable, well-positioned, and calm. He played well both with and without the ball, so of course he could start in the next Champions League match. However, I think it would be risky for him to play every 3 days, but 1 game per week is no problem for him. Today's substitution also allowed us to give Rüdiger and Valverde some rest. Both had minor physical discomforts, but little by little, our defensive line is emerging from the emergency situation.
Is Mbappe frustrated with himself for not scoring today?
No, everything is fine. He was very happy after the match. Of course, he didn't score today, but he provided the assist for Vini's goal. And in the second half, he created a lot of danger multiple times. He controlled a very long pass fantastically. So he was happy with his performance. And I think he cares more about the team winning the match.
We saw you and your coaching staff speaking with Miguel Gutierrez. What did you talk about? Do you think Miguel has a chance to return to Real Madrid?
Before the match, I greeted him. I said, "Good morning." I also wished him good luck, but not for today, but for the future.
In Spain, there's a saying, an old hen makes a good broth.
What's that?
An old hen makes a good broth.
Ah, yes, in Italy it's the same. Are you talking about me?
No, but it could apply to you as well.
I'll accept that.
I wanted to talk about Luka Modric. In Real Madrid's history, there has never been a 40-year-old player in the squad. But if Modric renews his contract, that could happen next season. Given how difficult and demanding it is to play for Real Madrid, do you think renewing him would be a recognition of his career? And do you think Luka Modric has what it takes to be a coach someday?
I can give you an example. I had a player who was 40 years old and won a Champions League, Maldini. Both he and Modric share the quality of being the perfect example of what a footballer should be. They are both fantastic role models, and I tell you, it's no coincidence that they've reached 40 and are still playing. I think genetics play an important role to T, but above all, it's about seriousness, attitude, commitment, and professionalism. That is the only way to reach 40 and continue playing, just as Maldini did before and as Luka Modric is doing now.
After half-time, there were changes in the forward positions. Vinicius played very wide on the left, and that's when he became much more dangerous. They couldn't stop him. Don't you think that's his best position, and where he is most dangerous?
The plan for the first half was to have Rodrigo on the left wing and Brahim on the right wing. But to create more danger from the wings, in the second half we moved Vinicius to the left wing, Rodrigo to the right, and Brahim between the lines, which was the position Vini played in the first half. That's all we changed. Obviously, Vinicius is very dangerous on the wing. On the other hand, Rodrigo feels more comfortable on the left, but he creates just as much danger on the right as he does on the left.